Welcome to the Pile of Shame game, the miniature painting challenge I made to tackle a problem every hobbyist knows too well. We started off this series painting 2 Akryl boys from the Dominion box, and now the box is at 8% completion. This leaves me at a total of 6% of my entire collection completed. I was super motivated to roll the next chunk to paint, and we rolled the Acolyte Globagers. Globagers. Even though I'm not confident on my pronunciation of that name, I'm feeling ready and confident to start this new project. I'm sad to say that this project started off pretty frustrating. I tried out a paint scheme which I really didn't like. This is usually something that kills my motivation when working on projects. However, the power of the Pile of Shame game helped me push through. I decided to start on a new mini in order to not be too distracted by my failed attempt. For this attempt, I started off changing the color of the cloth towards pink. Working over a purple base, I blended Magenta and Blood Moon Red together. This really made a nice base for the future layers. After building up a layer of pure magenta, I started mixing in laser pink. I kept adding more and more laser pink to the mix. For the next step, I decided to work on the metal parts of the model. When testing out paint schemes, I always try to figure out the colors on the biggest parts of the model first. After I'm happy with those parts, I can use that information when working out the smaller details. I was happy with the magenta, so now I just had to figure out what would look good next to it. I did a mix of midnight blue, ocean blue and abyss blue. Every time I added more abyss blue for highlights, I kept adding some ocean blue as it made this really nice blue tone. I kept adding abyss blue to the mix, but also ice yellow. I glazed midnight blue into the shadows several times in order to keep the majority of the metal dark. I decided to go for my favorite gold recipe. This is basically mixing red, magenta, orange, yellow and a dark base color. You can create several variations of gold using these colors. At this point, I started working on details in order to get a better picture of what the final result would look like. The details always have a nice way of tying the piece together. At this point, I was liking the colors and I decided to paint all 5 of the models. I figured it would look great to have a whole line on the spreadsheet completed, as well as it being a good idea to finish the minis while the paint scheme is still fresh in my mind. I don't really care for batch painting. I much prefer to paint 1 or 2 models at a time. I tried to mix it up a bit and I honestly didn't find this as tedious as I thought it would be. The models were all unique, so I did get some much needed variation when switching between the different models. Painting the orb was a very interesting challenge. I wanted to create a magical pattern. I did this by doing circular motions with a brush. I finished the orb with a glaze of midnight blue. Finally, I reached the last step of painting these models. I kind of got the feeling I used to get in school when I was nearing a vacation and I started putting in less and less effort. Because of this, I tried to make the painting of the sword as straightforward and easy as possible. Starting with a dark blue base color, I did a mix of layering and glazing all the way to ice yellow. I also tried to create texture by doing these streak movements with the brush. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Pile of Shame game. This is such a fun project for me and I'm super excited to see what box we're gonna be painting next. Please like, share and subscribe, everything helps a lot. And I hope you are battling your Pile of Shame too. See you in the next one, maybe.